Hola, bom dia. I've continued on finishing the master bedroom with the drywall and the mudding.
This week I made some curtain rod holders, so we have one set completed and a curtain finally up in our living room. And this area is nicely organized, and you can see one of my future projects here will be recovering this chair with this fabric. Then we have the bomb that went off in the rest of our house because all of the furniture and stuff from the master bedroom is now just randomly everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the fun continues.
It's all perspective.
But I'll be showing you how I made these this week and how I stained them using tea.
So we're going duck hunting. Are you making duck decoys?
No, these aren't ducks. Let's see if we can guess what they're for.
Ducks. We're going duck hunting.
No, we are not going duck hunting. It's going to be the new curtain rod holders.
Ooh, fancy.
So I didn't take video yet because I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I need to shorten these because they're too long. And then I'm going to, once I shorten them, I'm going to notch out the back so that I can put a piece of wood in like this. And then this will be the part that screws into the wall.
Ooh, fancy.
If that makes sense.
Action.
Oopsie. Apparently I wasn't ready. Didn't. There we go. So the reason I did that is so that it's easier to center this where I want it. So I have to set this thing up on the floor because I don't have enough upper body strength to do it on my workbench. I need more leverage. So I'm going to line the center of this up with the hole that I pre-drilled, which is, looks like it's right there. Oopsie. Right there. We need to charge the drill. Son of a... Let's try this again, now that my tools are charged. And it's better to flip it over halfway so that you don't punch through the other side and end up with splinters. If you can get it lined up. There we go. I think that's in. Yep. Just like that. So the next step, in order to get this nice curved line, I just used one of my sanding discs and I lined up the edge inside the hole that I just drilled and the top edge. And that's our curved edge for the curtain rod holder.
You're so smart. You're like a smart person.
Sometimes. Then we're going to line up our square and that is our line to cut so that you have your hook part, the whatever, where the rod sits. Zip it, you!
You are like a smart person.
I'm having a moment here, okay? Where'd my little piece go?
I don't
There
know.
it is.
Watch your fingers.
So that I get my corners the same.
Mm-hmm.
And just mark along the edge of the offcut. So, like that. So we're lining it up with the outside of the blade. And then all of our cuts are more or less the same. Pretty close.
Ooh, fancy.
So that takes care of the front.
Fancy.
These will end up being about this length, but this is one of the reasons why I'm using a longer scrap of wood so that my fingers are not too close to the blade.
Right.
So that's our ducks.
Are they in a row?
They are in a row. Look. Bloop, 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 bloop. Well, I can't make duck noises, so.
Yeah, you make them fine. When you're swearing.
So I need to notch out the back of my ducks so this fits inside. I've set my blade to the height for the thickness of the wood. I have a push block to stabilize the piece that I'm cutting, and I'm going to run them through like this. At least that's the plan. Let's see if it works. So I cleaned up the notch with sandpaper wrapped around a scrap of wood. So just sanding it through like this. I tried using the Dremel, but it just made grooves because it's round and I want to make a flat notch. So this was the best way of sanding everything smooth. I then marked the center on the thickness of wood, as well as the center on the piece that we are attaching right there. don't know if you can see that. So we've lined up our centers. And that is what our curtain rod holders are going to look like. Got it. Gluing and screwing.
Why are you making a mess at the dinner table?
I do what I want.
I know you have a wood shop outside.
I know, but there's nowhere to sit out there.
You're going to get slivers in your buttocks. There, Forrest Gump.
Woo!
Cuckoo.
Trying something a little different today. I'd like to add a light stain to the curtain rod holders as well as the curtain rods. So I've brewed up a cup of tea. So we have 4 tea bags here, and the cup is about half full. I tried to make a more concentrated tea to use as a stain. So I'm just using a rag, and we're going to wipe it onto our curtain rod holders. So you can see the difference. It's still wet, so it'll probably lighten up a bit as it dries. And I'll show you the end result. So let's set that one aside, and we'll do this one as well. Part of the reason that I'm using tea instead of a wood stain is because I've experimented with the wood stain colors that we have, and I found both of them too dark, especially on the end grains, because your end grains or drier wood or wood that hasn't been sanded to as smooth of a finish are going to absorb more of the wood stain. So this color here is kind of the color that I'm going for, which is actually one of the wood stain that I have. And on the face where it's nice and smooth, it's been sanded down to, I believe, 220 grit. It gives me the color that I'm looking for with one light, even coat. Unfortunately, a good portion of our curtain rod holders are end grain, so that's not going to work. I think I've achieved the color that I was looking for. On the curtain rod, this is 3 coats of tea and 4 coats on the curtain rod holders. So you can see it is quite a lot warmer than the unstained one. So this is the natural color. This is 3 coats of tea, and then this was 1 coat of the wood stain I have left over. And if we put it with the curtain rod holders, it looks like they are the same color. So I'd say they're ready for varnish.
Well, hello. Don't forget to give our video a like, share it with your friends, leave a comment down below. We love hearing from you guys, and it helps our channel grow. What are you doing?
I'm seeing where this needs to line up.
Oh, I see.
Our curtains.
Are you stuck there?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
What if I came over and tickled you?
Then I'd probably drop stuff.
Oh, on my head.
So we didn't get it on camera, but I held the curtain rod holders in place while Grant checked to make sure that they were lined up and everything was level. And he marked the placement. So now he's drilling into the wall so we can put plugs and then screw into the wall. Oops. So we're adding a bit of Super Fix
Super Fix.
into the holes to make sure everything stays in place. Do you need a hammer?
Yep, I do. I get my fingers out of the glue.
Here you go.
Thanks, bud. That way I can get the glue just on the
hammer.
hammer.
Easy there, Tiger.
Just fell off my ladder. That one's hitting the ball.
Of course it is.
Good? Yeah.
That looks tight.
All good. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Ooh, very nice. And this is what the finished product looks like. You can see I was not making ducks or brontosauruses. It is curtain rod holders. And we finally have a curtain up in the living room. For the moment, I have it pinned so that it's not pooling on the ground because I don't want the bottom of the curtain to get all covered in cement dust. Eventually, I'll be putting a desk below that window, so the curtains will be hemmed to roughly an inch above the desk, or 2.5 centimeters. But for now, that is how it looks. And it's a nice place to relax in the evening, providing we get to the chair before Mavis, because now that it has a fuzzy blanket on it, she's decided that that is her chair. So we are trying to beat the cats to the cozy corner in the evenings so we can relax. The recipe that I want to make for dinner calls for sun-dried tomatoes, which we don't have. So I cut up some of our tiny little cherry tomatoes, salted them, and put them out in the sun about an hour and a half ago. So there you can see the smaller ones are looking pretty good. They won't be completely dry by the time I make dinner, but hopefully it gets some of the flavor. I'm definitely going to try this again with some of the bigger cherry tomatoes and leave them out until they're properly dried, and then we'll have them on hand for the next time. It has been about 3 hours. The smaller ones are looking pretty good. The bigger pieces are still looking pretty juicy, but hopefully we've gotten some of the sun-dried flavor in there. In any case, I'm starting to make dinner, so that's as sun-dried as they're going to get this time around. We have quite a few upcoming projects, so the main one that we'll be working on will be to level and tile the floor in the living room. Once we finish that, the side projects that we're working on will be hopefully to find 2 more boxes of this flooring. So we picked up Arden's rigid waterproof flooring, but we need 2 more boxes because I would like to use that in our master bedroom. I didn't see it online at Leroy Merlin, but we're hoping when we go to the store, we'll find it somewhere in the store. So fingers crossed on that one. And we were able to borrow an electric staple gun from our friend Esperanza. So this will be used to recover the very ugly throne chair that we have with this blanket. So we were given this blanket as a Christmas present, and I think it will be perfect to recover this chair. So it'll be a nice, fuzzy, comfy chair. The cats already love it, so I don't know how often we'll actually get to use the chair once it's finished, but it'll at least look nice. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. I've never used an electric staple gun before, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye!